it's Ada from Pixel, and welcome back. Something interesting happened over the holidays. As a YouTuber, I'm used to reviewing art tech, testing new pen displays, iPad accessories, apps, and more. Something I love doing. But as the holiday season approached and continued forward, I found myself receiving more and more review requests. Monitors, desk accessories, pen displays, and so on. Before I knew it, my studio started looking like a warehouse, and I felt the pressure of looming deadlines stacking up on top of my full-time teaching schedule. The experience had both pros and cons. The upside, it forced me to streamline my production process, making it more efficient. Plus, testing out new tech and keeping some was a definite bonus. More importantly, it reminded me to maintain balance. I didn't want my workload to come at the expense of my well-being. Thankfully, I managed to stay on top of things without burning out. However, something did take a hit: my freedom to simply sit down and draw. Working with my students has always been a huge source of inspiration, but as weeks and months passed, I realized I was becoming more and more detached from creating my own work, something essential for keeping me connected to myself. That gap between me and drawing started to generate anxiety and insecurity. The longer I went without drawing, the more intimidating it felt. A fear crept in, the fear that I had lost touch, that my skills had weakened. The thought of drawing became daunting, which is unusual for me because I'm typically immersed in it daily. If this had happened when I was younger, that fear might have crippled me. But now I know how to overcome it, and it's far simpler than you might think. The first thing to realize is that art isn't just a creative or intellectual endeavor. It's a physical activity. The feel of the pen or brush in your hand, the texture of the paper, the physicality of a line or brushstroke. This tangible connection is what emotionally ties us to the process. It's why we appreciate the raw energy of sketch lines more than the polished final versions. It's also why AI-generated imagery, despite its technical capabilities, feels soulless. It lacks that physical human connection. Humans are drawn to things that they can touch and interact with. Take Apple, for instance. In their stores, laptops are intentionally positioned at a slightly awkward angle, so customers must adjust them, creating a physical connection that fosters emotional ownership. The Apple Vision Pro, on the other hand, struggles with engagement because customers can't simply pick it up and try it. This concept applies to drawing. The longer we go without physically engaging in the act, the weaker our emotional connection to it becomes. The key to rekindling your desire to draw is simply to start drawing. Over the holidays, I was swamped with video production, scripting, recording, shooting, editing, all on top of my mentorship program. This left me no time to draw, and as a result, my fear of drawing grew. But I knew the solution. I scheduled just 30 minutes a day in the morning for drawing. That's all it took. Within 2 days, I was back in my rhythm. The anxiety disappeared, and it became easier every day. If you want to desire drawing, you need to draw, not wait for motivation. This principle applies beyond art. Think of a long-term relationship. The longer you go without being romantic, the less you feel inclined to be. But once you actively make an effort, whether through small gestures or grand romantic moments, the desire to do more grows. Action feeds desire. This is why structured practice platforms like ArtWOD are so effective, not sponsored. Their daily work ensures consistent engagement, keeping artists physically connected to the drawing process. Let's take this next example. Ever been deep into a video game, invested countless hours, and felt compelled to keep playing? That's game design at work. Developers hook players with engaging challenges and remove obstacles that might make them quit. Gameplay testers don't just test for bugs, they identify points where players disengage. The same applies to artistic productivity. One of the best ways to maintain consistency and inspiration is to have an artistic project or theme that keeps you engaged, whether it's working on a comic, a video game concept, an animation bible, or a themed illustration series like Dark Fantasy Folklore. Having a structured project prevents you from drifting aimlessly. Games captivate us because they let us step into new worlds and become someone or something we couldn't be in real life. The same applies to art. It's method acting with a pen. We dive into worlds of our own making, shaping them with our own hands. But there's a catch. Creativity thrives within limitations. As Guillermo del Toro once said, quote, "An unlimited budget is a death sentence for a filmmaker. Similarly, unlimited options are a death sentence for an artist. The creative mind, left unchecked, can spiral into unproductive chaos. That's why structure is crucial. Set boundaries for your projects. Keep your fundamental concepts limited so you don't get lost in endless possibilities. Plan wisely. Avoid necessary tangents that dilute your visions. Know when to stop. Over-refining a piece can kill its energy and leave you frustrated. If you've watched my talk on simplifying your artistic life, you'll know the importance of cutting out unnecessary distractions. The same principle applies here. Fewer options lead to greater focus and productivity. A proper framework helps you define your ideas and get to the execution phase faster. It ensures your energy is spent creating, not just brainstorming. So, to recap, remember, art is a physical activity. Regular physical engagement fuels your desire to draw. Just 15 minutes a day can make all the difference. Second, remember that momentum is key. Being in the middle of a project makes it easier to stay motivated, just like in a well-designed video game. And third, remember that structure fosters creativity. Limitations create focus, reduce overwhelm, and help you get things done. And of course, I love you all with all my heart, and happy painting. Take care.